compounds and antifibrotic compounds. And then there's another messenger that it works through called Nf-kappa B, and through Nf-kappa B it downregulates the bad stuff, the pro-fibrotic and the pro-inflammatory stuff. So you get the best of both worlds, more of the good, more of the anti-inflammatory, and less of the bad, less of the pro-inflammatory. And that's essentially how Nrf2 works.
And what is the benefit of Nrf2, especially when you tend to age? And what happens when you're aging, and what would you want to turn on the Nrf2 pathway?
Well, oxidative stress is the thing that Nrf2 reduces. And for those of you that don't know what oxidative stress is, that's the process of damage to your cells that occur over the years that you're alive through the process of making energy. The mitochondria that Dr. Silverman's going to be talking about produce your energy in the form of ATP. They also produce these byproducts called free radicals. These are toxic molecules that will damage any part of the cell that they bump into. And so as we age, we have a cumulative buildup of the damage from the free radicals to our cells. That damages the oxidative stress, and the cumulative effect is what leads to the aging process and many of the health conditions associated with aging.
Hot damn, that's not good. So, well, so what do we do about it? I mean, you have oxidative stress, aging, so what should we do?
Well, historically, what people have tried to do is to take antioxidant vitamins like C and E and beta-carotene and such, but those are very weak at neutralizing the free radicals. They will do it in a one-to-one fashion, whereas the enzymes that your own cells produce, like superoxide dismutase, for example, can neutralize up to 1 million free radical cell molecules per molecule of superoxide dismutase. So they're not even in the same ballpark. So the Nrf2 pathway is what activates the production of these antioxidant enzymes that are significantly more potent at neutralizing the free radicals and therefore reducing the oxidative stress.
So with that, for the new people out there, this is how Protandim Nrf2 started. The researchers initially were looking at a way to increase SOD, superoxide dismutase, and catalase in order to reduce oxidative stress. What they didn't know was it was through the Nrf2 pathway, but originally they wanted to reduce oxidative stress. So let's talk more about Protandim Nrf2 specifically. What is it, and what kind of research do we have to show that it works?
So Protandim is an all-natural plant-based supplement with 5 ingredients: green tea, turmeric, milk thistle, ashwagandha, and bacopa. And the researchers found that these 5 together had a gigantic synergistic effect. If you look at the graph, and if you've ever heard one of my in-depth scientific studies, I've shown that graph. Each of the individual ingredients does relatively little to activate these antioxidant genes. But the 5 together, the effect was enhanced 18-fold. And that's huge. And it's a synergistic effect that really gives Protandim its power. Now, the original study that was done was a human clinical trial that showed a 40% reduction in oxidative stress in 30 days in humans that took Protandim. To my knowledge, there is no other product on the market, drug or supplement, that can do that. And that was huge, and that was the basis for what launched Protandim Nrf2. Now, since that time, we have now a total of 27 peer-reviewed scientific studies that you can find on PubMed. Yeah. Woo! Right? I mean, where else are you going to find that kind of science? And that's really what attracted me to this company in the first place, was the science. I didn't want to have anything to do with the business, but that's another story. So the 27 studies are incredible. I mean, organizations like the American Heart Association published research about Protandim. That's a big deal. But I just want to highlight 2 other studies. And one was a study that you guys are probably familiar with from the National Institute on Aging from 2016. And in that study, they were trying to see if there were any natural products that could extend lifespan or health span. And the only all-natural product that was able to do that was Protandim. Does that excite anybody? Yeah. It extended the health span of male mice by 7%, which doesn't sound like much. And there was a trend in female mice. But the problem with that study was they were underdosing the Protandim by 50% for the first half of the study. So they looked at some really good supplements, some really good natural products in that particular study, and Protandim was the only one that actually caused an increase in the health span. So that's a big deal. Any company would give their left arm for that kind of research done by a third party. And then the third study that I want to highlight is one that just came out in June of this year from Colorado State University. And that is a study that looked at the effect of exercise and antioxidant therapy. And specifically what they did is they took these mice that were marathon mice. They ran 6 miles a day, right? Rats, sorry, Sprague Dolly rats. Rats. She just wants to make sure it's rats and not mice. Because mice are cute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cuscuses, they're pretty cute. Rats, they have too long of a tail.
Imagine a rat running 6 miles in a day, okay? So what they were looking at was the effect that antioxidant therapy had on muscle development, protein synthesis, mitochondrial biogenesis. And they compared vitamin C to Protandim. And what they found was that in the vitamin C treated group, that blunted the beneficial effects of the exercise on muscle and protein synthesis and also on mitochondrial biogenesis. But Protandim actually enhanced that effect. It enhanced the effects of the exercise. So for all of you exercise people out there who are taking vitamin C thinking it's helping you, it's not. It's not helping you with your physical development, and it may actually be causing you harm.
Wow, that's a
big
bummer
deal.
fifi. That is a
Bummer
bummer
fifi.
fifi. Yes. So, but that's not a bummer fifi for our Protandim Nrf2, because we know that now taking Protandim Nrf2 when you exercise is not going to diminish the beneficial effect that exercise has on your muscle and your overall well-being. So that is an amazing study, and it was just published June the 1st. But I'm going to go back to the mice study, the Gus. Well, that longevity study was on mice, and people are telling me, well, these were on mice and not on humans. How do you respond to that?
Well, I had a very smart cardiologist ask me that exact same question, and I said to him, I looked him in the eye and I said, explain to me how you're going to do a longevity study on humans. Think about that for a moment.
Yep.
Who's going to be around to report the results? Right? We're all going to be dead. So yes, it was an animal study, but you have to take a little bit of a leap of faith and realize that they are mammals and we are mammals as well.
Well, but we share 88% of the same DNA.
That's true. Well, I have a question for you. I was asked in Australia if it works on marsupials, and I'm not certain. Has it ever been tested in marsupials?
What's the lifespan of a marsupial?
I don't know. It depends on the species, I guess.
Okay, well, we'll have to check on that with our friend the Aussies. Any Aussies out there? So how long is the marsupial living? Okay, we don't know yet. Next time we'll know that. So, we were the first time on the market with the Protandim Nrf2, which activates the Nrf2 pathway, which is good for oxidative stress. Now we are the first one on the market